Alright. I really need to buckle down and get this done. I'm just so at getting things done right now. Alright, episode 4. Oh, I team up with oh. Oh. I've already done all there is to know. I've already seen all there is to see. I've already done all that could be done in this wearisome world. Everything is always the same. Nothing new ever happens. It just goes on repeating and repeating and repeating in the same old boring pattern forever and ever. Even death. Certainly the first time one experiences it, it strikes the heart with an intense feeling of pain and loss. Even the second time one will suffer the same effect. Even a third, the 10th. But the 1,000th time? The 10,000th? The millionth? It barely even registers anymore. It's like staring into a light and letting your mind drift as the image burns into your retinas. Eventually, it's just there, and you learn to look past it. You learn to ignore it. Any world of such finite possibilities is destined to eventually lose its spark, becoming void of all emotionality, as everything simply takes the form of pure information, pure data. And being subject to such overwhelming monotony day in and day out inevitably causes one's heart to wither away. Why? How? How is it that others are able to endure such endless banality? Is this how it will all end for all of us? Tired from all knowing, we will sit around and simply wait for the world's tepid extinction? And to think, if little old me is suffering this much, then what must it be like for a true omniscient, omnipotent being? What an existential nightmare that must be. Dang. 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 Oh boy. Old one's too OP. Must nerf. Well, must ban. Oh, wait. That's supposed to be as I thought. Whatever. I ain't doing it again. Did we nod off? Yes. Wait. Hey, where is Cthugha? Who can tell me where that imbecile might have gone off to? So Cthugha has been captured. How quaint. Look at him whimper like a coward. Truly the height of entertainment. What a piece of work. We can't wait to see if Non-Appletat falls victim to the same fate. Oh, if that happens, it won't be long before their lot discovers our whereabouts. We expect it to be 3 days. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer until we finally have our victory. Oh, please stop with the laughs. People are gonna think I'm crazy if they haven't already. All right, everyone. All right, everyone's here. So let me explain what's going on. First, I'll start with the conclusion. I finally discovered the nature of the shadow buggers. Already? It's only been a few days, though. That's amazing. Kuragate's really on a roll lately. He's a prime example of humanity's capacity for intellectual reasoning. You're kind of overstating things, I think. All I'm doing is putting pieces of a puzzle together as I find them. Besides, there's been research and theories in the force for some time. Besides, there's been research and theories in the force for some time now. It's just that we can corroborate some of them now. And a lot of that is on Cthugha, who's very cooperative through it all. Thanks for all the useful info, man. Seriously. It's nothing, really. But do go on. I like being praised. I must be going out my mind here. Is this really the same ruthless commander we were fighting tooth and nail? He was compliant during the initial interrogation too. He said he kept looking around like a kid in a toy store. Maybe he was under someone else's control before. That might explain this drastic change in behavior. In regards to the shadow buggers, I wanted to talk about their ability to absorb and regenerate. Or, to choose a more apt term, let's call it a kind of inviolability. They're impervious to interference or alteration. Turns out, this is because they belong to an entirely separate axis of time. Axis of time? What happens if that's different? Why is that so special? What the heck? How can someone who led an army of shadow buggers react like this? This is all new to him. Well, we can use rules despite there being a lot we don't know about them. This could be something similar. Basically, we all exist in the present, and as time marches on, the present gets filed away as experiences and memories. Reality, as we perceive it, quickly becomes part of our past, and the past is seen as fixed and immutable. The shadow buggers are different, though. Their past, which should be over and done with, is part of their present reality. Now, history is just data, so we can call up images or videos of the past, too. But for buggers, it's more than that. I began to realize that giving tangible form to data could be a rule that somebody possesses. It would stand to reason. But that part's all just conjecture. The real crux is how this allows the buggers to show up in seemingly infinite droves. So the reinforcements, they can call in their past selves. How does that work? Are they clones? Well, have you ever heard of the term space of possibility? It's related to the many worlds theory. Not all too familiar with that. Wait, isn't the many worlds theory just the multiverse theory? Oh no. I have. I read about it in the Novelia. I found it at the library. It said that the existence is like a game with all these different routes. And like each route is different, a different version of me. Has a different version of me in it. Oh god, it's multiverse theory. It is multiverse theory. The best explanation I can give for this, or the best way to like water it down, because this one did it in a really good way. Justice League, I can't remember what movie it is exactly, but it's a Justice League, it's an animated Justice League movie where it's an alternate universe of an evil Justice League, and instead of Batman, it's Owlman, and he basically explains it like, in this universe we made this choice, but also in this universe we didn't make this choice. Thus, we have a separate reality. And that... Oh, no. Oh, no. Assuming that was Duo who was saying all that at the beginning. Oh, man. Like, wow, old ones in Utopia are just messed. But I guess if you want to go to an easier reference point and use Dragon Ball, like use Dragon Ball Super, I guess, or well, just Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, I guess. Dragon Ball Super Heroes. Basically, we have a Universe A, Universe B, Universe C, and all that, and they're all the same, just like different choice paths. So, different outcomes, obviously. Anyway, back to the story. Yeah, I've got a strong urge to correct a lot of that, but let's just say that's a good enough interpretation for now. Novelia? Isn't that a chocolate and hazelnut spread? Not sure how somebody learns about space from time from that. The word is derived from novel and refers to a short work of fiction according to my cultural database. Yeah, he was reading graphic novels. Don't usually hear about fiction helping teach practical information like this, though. Guess I should read more. Oh no. Think of it this way. Say you defeat an opponent, totally obliterate it, yet its existence remains. Know why? Because according to the many worlds theory, there are an infinite number of parallel universes where it wasn't defeated. Our enemy has found a way to tap into those alternate timelines and gain a quantitative advantage over humanity. They can access data from those many past and somehow bring it into the present, giving it physical form. So, even if a unit has been defeated in the present, they can just endlessly reproduce it, rendering them damn near invincible. And that's why the denial field is so effective against them. I see. Precisely. The denial field technology creates a battle zone which blocks outside interference. If we entrap the shadow buggers in that field, they're cut off from the myriad of past worlds they rely upon in combat. But that also means we're good only as long But that also means we're good only as long as the denial field is active. Once it's gone, they can just regenerate all the same. So it doesn't matter how badly we beat them down, they'll just keep coming back to fight us ad infinite. Why that word? Fight us ad infinitum. That's why we've been perpetually retreating this whole war. retreating this whole war alone. Fortunately, we have an ace in the hole. How's the research progressing on Brandon's rule? Analyzing his rule is like trying to scratch away at a brick wall. We don't have the right tools for the job. Regardless, even if I don't understand it, that doesn't mean I don't know how to make good use of it. One thing I can say is that his rule allows him to rend the bond between one thing and another. Theoretically speaking, there's no rational reason the shadow buggers should be able to exist in our timeline. Which means the bond tying their past to our present might just be something Brandon can sever. That's potentially why when we cut the denial field before the enemies he defeated didn't regenerate. What's with all the uncertainty? Potentially this might be that, theoretically speaking? This is all for sure, ain't it? Our general situation is uncertain. Have you been able to weigh our odds of victory in light of this new information? We've already made calculations to that end, yes. Cthugha, would you tell us again what you said during your questioning? Huh? Are you talking to me? Do you mean what I said about the leader of those bug things? Nodens? Nodens? Oh, I tried to. Did I just? Oh my god. Nodens! So the shadow buggers do have a boss. What do you know about him, Cthugha? Well, in a part of space where we hung out, I could tell he was like super smart, which isn't to say I'm not. I can count real good too if I use my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 6. You don't have to go over that part again. Could you just talk about their home base and such? And please be concise. This guy can even rustle the commander's feathers. He's the gift that keeps on giving. I've hardly ever seen you get perturbed, Commander. You're acting just like a human would. It's so cute. He lives in the Dreamlands, in a super duper ultra big place called a Got Castle. When you said Dreamland, I immediately thought of Kirby, despite like never really playing a Kirby game. And I mean, like, it's always in plain view. Huge. All you have to do is think about going there and you'll find it. So we can make it appear by thinking? It can't be that easy, can it, Commander? He's actually right on the money. R19, bring up the info from our database. Acknowledge. Displaying image data now. Oh. Look! We ain't got time for jokes! You expect us to believe something like that can possibly exist? I agree with Nomad. That can't be real. There's no way we would have missed something that big all this time. This projection isn't theoretical, and Cthugha's description isn't inaccurate or delusional in any way. See? I told you I wasn't lying! We captured this image using our latest obstacle observation equipment. What you see is a 99.98% accurate reconstruction. I get it. Alright. Super Robot Wars X. Super Robot Wars X, or which basically uses this. Like, it uses this quite a bit. Super Robot Wars X, or what's it called? Or Gurren Lagann. Oh god, Gurren Lagann. The best I can say is that we didn't see this before because it didn't exist before. At some point, it simply came into being. It seems likely that the enemy has simply chosen now to reveal it to us. Or perhaps, like Cthugha insinuated, it came into being precisely because we've only just now specifically sought it out. And check this. According to my data, the elements that make up the castle are 99.98% a match for the shadow buggers themselves. Whoa! So you're saying this impossible building is basically made out of our enemies? Which places the size of their military in the... Well, I don't think I can even quantify it. It's literally unimaginable. We're a speck of dust by comparison. So, yeah, this Nodens fella isn't one to be underestimated, to put it lightly. The thing is, I don't remember him being all that strong. But he is the leader of those bug things. They're like his family, so I guess he must be pretty tough. I don't think those bug things are all that strong either, though. Are they? At least I don't remember it that way. Interesting. So there is a discrepancy between our experience with the creatures and your memory of them. That feels like it may be significant intel. I want everyone to keep it in the back of their minds. Further examination of sample data shows that the castle is perpetually existing some form of rule. Exhibiting some form of rule. We cannot ascertain the nature of this rule, but all signs indicate its source being named Nodens himself. Okay, so putting all this info together, the long and short of it is, Nodens is the big bad, and we gotta take him out. That does seem to be where all signs are pointing. This Nodens is the heart of this whole tragic war. If we can take him out, or even just capture him, that alone might curb the shadow buggers' aggression. It's so simple! Why didn't we think of that? Oh, wait, we did! It is not that easy! But thank you, Captain Obvious! I think there's some cause for optimism. I mean, we got ourselves at least a tiny sliver of hope here. Basically, if we believe that he can be defeated, then he can be defeated. That's basically what this is running off of. In fact, you could say, well, just to go on a bit of a tangent here, this entire game, like the entire main story where all this takes place in the game, basically, if you believe it, you can make it happen. It's true that this is the first time in the war we've actually had enough intel to see the goalpost, as it were. But what we've learned today changes everything moving forward, and it's not going to make things any easier. We finally learned a way to end all of this. Our new goal must be to strip Nodens of his power. Whether it be by destroying him, capturing him, or even somehow reasoning with him, we must stop him in his tracks. Strike down the beating heart of the shadow buggers and the whole structure should fall. So we now enter the final phase of operation, remembrance of things past. At our current cruising speed, it will take approximately 100 hours to reach the Agate Castle. During this time, I think it's fairly clear what we need to do. I want options by the time we get there. Good ones. This is our last operation. I'm looking forward to see what you all can bring to the table. Dismissed. My apologies, Commander, but it hasn't been made clear what we're supposed to do with this Cthugha character. You know, your timing is impeccable. If the goal is to get under my skin, that's how you know I'm a machine built for war. War is all about pressing your opponent's buttons. Did Commander Duel just scoff? That's like a rare spawn, isn't it? He truly can't stand it. I thought we already talked about this. I want to join your ranks. I may not remember all the bad stuff I did, but I want to make up for it. That novella I read said that's what soldiers do. Also, I really want to ride one of those awesome space fighters. Vroom vroom, shebang! God. Don't forget, Commander. We are at war here. You said yourself. We need all the guinea pig fighters we can get. Guinea pizza? What were you about to say? I want to know. I think you dug your own hole with this one, Commander. You gotta use whatever resources you can in the military, right? You're gonna go to such great lengths to get a deserter like me back. You can't really say no to a reformed enemy, can you? Oh, you're good with words. Are you my rival character? I bet you're my rival character. No. Doubtful. Since you're the comic relief who has a moving death scene right before the end of the story. Hey! My character's not gonna get killed off! Where'd you get that idea from? Oh, for the love of... Alright, we can have him operate our spare ship, Nightglows 3. But considering your unconventional entry into the Force, your rank will have to be that of an informal warrant officer. Dang! You got the position of Noel per million! Dude, you are... And yet you have the power, and yet you're like Louise Hallaby of Gundam 00. How many more references am I going to make this episode? Gundam 00 Season 2. Wow! It's that easy? Shouldn't there have been a bit more drama or something? Your insignia and pilot suit will be prepared and made available to you immediately. Best of luck out there. Finally, someone's being nice to me. I look forward to working with you all. Are we done here? I'd like to borrow our 3 pilots if that's okay. Of course. This meeting is dismissed. I'll be going back to making my own preparations. Alright then, let's go, you 3. We're going to run some checks on your ships. Oh, I get to see my trusty spaceship already? So cool! Don't get too excited. Remember, as an officer in this regiment, I'm your captain now. I call the shots. Got it? Yes, sir! Roger that, Mr. Captain, sir. Is that good? How about you just call me Captain and leave it at that? I want you to make some time later and come see me. We need to talk. I got spoiled on this. And this just... Understood, Commander. I already know. I already know what that's about, and I hate it. Alright, everyone. Let's go over the adjustments we'll need to make before the final battle. Still feels weird to say those words. Can't believe we actually made it this far. Sorry, as I was saying, adjustments. Specifically some new weapons designed with shadow buggers in mind. Whoa, those spaceships look so cool! Which one is mine? Which one is mine? Oh, yours is the one in the back, number 3. I'll get started with customizing it to your rules shortly. Oh, customize! That's amazing! I can't believe I'm getting my own custom tailor-made, personalized fighter ship! You know what? I like you. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Oh, God. Maybe I should have shipped Kurogane with Cthugha. Your role has an explosive power that should be able to destroy any kind of spacecraft under ordinary circumstances. So my plan is to infuse that into some specially made spread launchers that could unleash a wide volley of missiles anytime. Nice! That sounds so sick! However, this will end up shortening your range of attack, so I'll have to upgrade your armor plating and suspension. Oh man, I can't wait to ride this baby! I'm gonna blow Nodens into smithereens in one fell swoop! Are you sure you're ready to fight? You're going against an old partner, no? Did you not like him? Well, you see, I never really knew Nodens all that well in the first place. I just heard he didn't get along well with that gnarl dude, who I can't stand, but even so, it seems suspicious. Oh, yeah. Plus, since he's super smart, I don't feel like I can really trust him, you know? Besides, that punk went and messed around with my head before all this, right? He's got some nerve! I have to make him and his goons pay for what they did to me. Oh, and, to you, like, to everybody. That's the spirit, I guess. Let's move on to the next ship, shall we? I didn't make many changes to brakes. I improved the engine performance by 20% and added some flares and decoys for tactical taunting purposes. Eesh, that sounds boring! Since you gave me special missiles, you should hook up Cap here with something cool like a hypersonic beam! Oh god. I'm quite alright with the alterations as they are currently. Kurogane always knows exactly what I need. So you'll be providing support then? Don't forget, you said you have my back, which means I've got the front. You've come a long way, haven't you, Rookie? Bet you'd be a great leader yourself. Huh? Am I missing something? Did I mess up your system somehow? No, it's just that compared to you two, the power of my rule is pretty lacking. So in order to create more openings for you to attack, I'll have to devote myself to crowd control this time around. There's more to combat than just shooting, after all. And it's less glamorous. Those less glamorous duties where I shine brightest. See, so here I have a thought here, and oh my god, this is going into 40 minutes, and it's only part 1 of the episode. So there is a mod for SD Gundam G Generation cross rays to like modify pilot images and cut-ins. And I pretty much want to like put in these guys as pilots. Oh god. But I think I would have to end up redrawing them. I would have to draw them out myself and put it in there, which I am not that good at getting like good renders for. because the angles are much different than what we use here, what's used in this game. That sounds cool, but somehow tragic at the same time. You're like the tragic hero type, An underdog to root for. Okay, now that just leaves the last ship. I had a pretty tough time with yours, Brandon. Up until now, your ship's been equipped with conventional weaponry. You know, guns and cannons and whatnot. I knew keeping everything as is wouldn't cut it for this fight, so I reworked it all from the ground up. It took me a long time to think up something useful, but I finally got my flash of inspiration. And then, BAM! It's a massive sword? Is that even gonna fit on the ship? How am I supposed to wield it? Honestly, I surprised even myself with this one. I couldn't believe what I had just done. Like something out of an anime. But I knew it would work out in the end. After all, you've got your rule of rending. You've got the rule of rending. And don't worry, despite how it looks, you'll still be able to engage in ranged combat. It's an option to be mounted onto the bottom of your ship, so there will be no swinging it around, I'm afraid. Wow! That's what I'm talking about! I'm kinda jelly, Brandon! His weapon's way cooler than mine! I want a sword too! Can I trade mine for a sword, please? You think I've got time to make another one of those in the next 100 hours? Come on, man! Cut me some slack! Plus, wouldn't getting the same thing make you a copycat? Or a wannabe? I think they call it. Nobody likes wannabes. Oh god, this is a happy moment before tragedy. Oh! Of course! You make a good point. I take back my request. I'll just have to outdo you with my monster missiles. I'll be all like, blam, kaboom, shazam, kaflooey. Think you can outdo our ace, do you? Well, how about proving it in a simulation right now? Sweet! God wants to put my skills to the test. I won't let you down, sir. Yes, sir, Captain, sir. That's what I call a military man. Frank sure knows how to inspire new recruits. I'm thinking you need some extra training yourself. So, come join us. It'll be the two of you versus me. Oh boy. Go easy on us, please. Cool! I bet the two of us together will be unstoppable! I won't get to hear formal house there. Oh my god, that took 46 minutes. No battle in the next one. Oh, maybe it'll be short since I took like 46 minutes. Only 30 minutes? Something's not right! Why won't any of my shots land? Oh, this blows! Stupid invasion crap! Just stay still for a second, you sneaky little... Your destructive power is certainly intimidating. I can feel the tension down to my very bones. That power is no use to anyone if it can't keep it under control. What do you mean, Captain? You're cheating, aren't you? I have no need to resort to trickery. This is just a demonstration of the difference in our skill levels. I've got you now! Guess again, rookie. Ah! Ah! He's coming at me again! Check and mate. Ah! Oh, he put his face like, no! Damn. Ah, this sucks. We were doing so well at the start. You did get the best of me in that first round. However, as soon as I got used to your movements, it was over for you. You were as predictable as the rising sun. You got downloaded, boy. You got downloaded, boy. Predictable? How can you call someone as complex and deep as me predictable? Your tactics aren't exactly rocket science. You chase down the enemy, then shoot. You never attempted anything else. All anyone needs is speed, and they'll escape your onslaught with minimal effort. By insisting that your opponent must be taken down through a show of force, you're forgetting the full capabilities of your ship. Full capabilities? That's just my missiles, right? Yes, but I don't think you realize just how many of them you have at your disposal, and that can be extremely advantageous. My idea isn't for you to take the enemy down in one shot. The idea isn't for you to take the enemy down in one shot, but to blanket a group of foes with so many that they get overwhelmed. Instead of focusing on landing hits, just try to hold your opponent down. Make it so that they have nowhere to run. And remember that those missiles aren't your only weapons. The battlefield is a weapon too. Always utilize your environment. Strength is in subjugating your opponent. It's a gift you were born with. Learn to use it. A gift I was born with? I never had someone talk to me like that before. My heart is beating so fast! I mean, Roger Dodger, Captain. I'll do exactly as you say. One more thing. Remember that these tactics I'm telling you about aren't foolproof. Sometimes it's wisest to pull it back. Now on to you, Brandon. I'm sorry, I was sloppy out there. Glad you can see that on your own. Instead of controlling your rule, I got the sense that it was controlling you. Your swift hit and run technique was like a dance, but your movements were too conventional. It was like watching a training video. Ultimately, I could see through everything. An experienced opponent would walk all over you, I'm afraid. How can I improve myself? I want you to put more attention into reading your opponent's movements. don't always have to be on the offensive. Try predicting what the enemy's next attack will be. Learn to get a picture of all their strengths and weaknesses, then subdue them by exploiting that knowledge. Start thinking ahead and you'll be totally unstoppable out there. Of course, I suppose I do have a slight advantage over you, having taught you everything you know. So I can read your every move too. The trick is figuring out how to get you to go beyond that. Predictable moves only win a fight if you've got the numbers. And in this war, we definitely do not have those. But if you think outside of the box, you'll maintain an advantage no matter how big of a force you're up against. You may be my student, but that doesn't mean you have to copy what I do for note. Get creative. I want you to be better than me. I want the student to surpass the teacher. Nothing would make me happier. So do your best and show me that you've got what it takes to outmaneuver this washed-up old fighter pilot. Let's say we're done for the day, shall we? You shove a seed too deep in the ground and it will never grow to reach the surface. It is recommended that one replenish their body with nutrients and liquid after an intensive workout. Whoa! Awesome! I was just thinking about getting something to eat. What type of food do you prefer? We have a modest arrangement of offerings available to choose from. Oh, do you have any, space food? I want to eat something from a tube, and, protein cubes or something. I know a lot about deep space, see? It's because I've studied so much at the library. I'm a real, stoic. Oh, God. This dumbass. Acknowledged. I can offer you our S ration course. Are you sure you want the S ration? We usually pack those when we're off on a long sortie. They're not exactly great. I don't mind. I'm after the vibe over the taste. Is that so? Well, I on the other hand am going for the M ration. I could do with it like me. As you wish. Here you are. Oh, what is that? Oh man, that hits the spot. That's the real taste of deep space right there. You must be exaggerating, right? There's no way space food can taste that good! Get with the times. We've made considerable advancements over the years in deep space culinary arts. A good meal can boost the morale of even the most overstressed soldiers. So we here take food science very seriously. Quality of the food we're provided can literally sway the outcome of the war. Balance and variety are key. Rice balls like these were quite the thing with foodies a while back, which is why we decided to integrate them into our menu. Can I have the M ration too? No fair! Why didn't you tell me that sooner? You can always trade your ration in for a new one. No need for the blown gasket. Here you are.
Should I dispose of your previous ration? No way! I'm gonna eat them both, since I also read that it's unethical to waste uneaten food. I must begin my patrol duty. If you require anything further, however, please do not hesitate to contact me.
We should probably get moving too. Each one of us has responsibilities to attend to after all.
I want to practice more in the simulation room. I can't stand losing like that.
I want you to make some time later and come see me. We need to talk. There's something I need to attend to too. Alright, do what you gotta do. Just as long as you don't overwork yourself. We need you in tip-top shape.
Are you headed to the bridge, Officer Brandon? I can accompany you part of the way if you have no objection.
Our duty's rough, huh?
But wait, weren't you part of the medical staff? Partially affirmative. My responsibilities are not limited to one field. I work in multiple departments. I work as a gunner in times of combat, while also operating transmission control between the ship and Nightglow units. Outside of combat, I am on guard patrol and attend to the crew's medical needs. Concerning the latter, distribution of food rations is one integral part of my duties.
They just leave everything to you. Is there anything I can do to help?
I am not in need of assistance. The work I do is my own. Please prioritize your own well-being. It is imperative to the war effort that you remain in good condition.
My mental health is about to drop to like 5 from like 100 to 5 after this bit. Because I got spoiled on it.
Doing so is the best way to provide me aid. Further personal conversation is deemed non-essential to our mission, so I must request permission to continue. Do you accept?
Of course! Please go ahead!
Thank you. I wanted to voice my appreciation to you, Officer Brandon. Ever since you joined the force, the mental health of our crew members has improved considerably. I believe it is your presence that broke us out of the rigid and uncertain quagmire the Shadow Buggers forced us into. I believe you have had a profound effect on the Commander as well. Therefore, particularly as an extension of the Commander's will, I felt compelled to extend to you my deepest gratitude.
I'm happy to hear you say that, Heart 19.
Acknowledgement received. Delivery of degree gratitude on behalf of the Commander has been confirmed.
On behalf of the Commander, huh? Hey, R19. Can I ask you a question? Was the person who made you perhaps...
Affirmative. In a very general sense, you may consider the Commander to be my creator. I was engaged in a mission where I suffered serious damage. This damage caused me to shut down repeatedly. The Commander fixed me affording my continued operation. Thanks to him, I've been able to complete my many subsequent missions.
Voice is running out and sticking to this voice here.
For that reason, I possess a wealth of data about the Commander much more than any other member on the ship. My analysis indicates that the Commander has been struggling with depression since we were forced to deploy the Wall of Time.
You're kidding! Commander Duo?
It is the first time that I have ever observed him in such a state. It's left me unsure of the best course of action. I've referenced numerous human psychology databases, but to no avail. I have determined that I am unfit to do anything which could counteract his status. He is, after all, a higher being. That's a higher being. That's a very specific turn of phrase. It is intended as such, scanning databases for alternate descriptors. You understand the term omnipotent and omnificent God? I have determined that there is no adequate service I could offer to such a being. I am merely a machine, after all. And what use has a higher being for computational mechanics?
You say. I tell you want to be there for him. You say you have nothing to offer, but is there anything you wanted to try?
My programming does not include the authority to provide unrequested comfort or consolation. Therefore, it has been determined that such actions are not desired of me and may in fact be viewed as intrusive.
I'm not asking about your programming. I'm asking what you personally want to do. You have desires of your own, don't you? The commander created you. That alone speaks volumes. It means he needed you, and still does.
Scanning databases for similar conclusions, I determined that you are counseling me on the nature of humanity. My emotions are a simulacrum of human feelings since they are not real. This form of maintenance is not required. Nonetheless, your consideration and concern are noted, and I give you my thanks for taking the time to counsel me.
You've come. Sooner than anticipated, actually. Please, relax. Make yourself at home. How was Officer Cthugha's performance? Does he seem like he'll be an asset to us? I think he'll shape up quite nicely. We should continue to observe him. Succinct. That is a new word for me. Succinct, but tells me everything I need to know. Thank you. What I'm about to tell you must be kept top secret. You're not to divulge it to anyone else, including your captain. This is gonna be a huge downfall. I am intending to use you up, so to speak, in the final battle to come. For the future of humanity, you are to fight to the end. And by end, I do mean your demise. We have to play our pieces right, and sometimes we have to make sacrifices. Well, you already knew that, didn't you? If there's anything you want to say it now. I'll lend you my ear, but an ear is all I have to offer, I'm afraid. God. He literally wants me to die. For everyone. He is literally saying, go die. God. I understand what's needed of me. I trust your decision, Commander. But
Is there really no other option? Let me ask you one thing. Why do you do it? How can you? How can you bear the weight of humanity? You're still just a kid. Yet you've taken on so much. I know you can handle it, but still! You're one to talk, still being a kid and all. But if you must know, much like Bertro, I treat everything like it's a game. That alone makes it all so much easier to bear. I regard every one of us as pieces on a board, in a game where you can retry as much as you want after making mistakes. And I've played that game for so very, very long now. But this isn't a game. Surely you understand that much. You do understand that, right? Of course I understand that. Who do you... I know this isn't a game that we can just start over on a whim. That should be obvious. But what does it hurt to look at things that way? If that's the only way I can shoulder this burden, how is that a problem? The thought that every step could be our last, with no do-overs, is enough to give anyone cold feet without a coping mechanism. This has a much deeper meaning than just this event. This bit right here has a much deeper meaning. Good God, this hurts. I have siblings, you know? Siblings who were raised with me. We were all meant to become geniuses one day, but I was the only one who escaped with my head intact. And there was nothing I could do. I had no purpose. I was all by myself, unable to even stand. I wanted to quit from the very beginning. I didn't want to play this stupid game, even if I could redo it till I got it right. And that's when I finally understood that there were no do-overs. One mistake would end everything. So I put on this facade and acted like everything was under control, but it's not. And I don't want to keep pretending it is. Still, I want to protect everyone. I can't let everyone die on me. I just can't. I have to take a stand so that I'll never again have to witness the sight of my siblings, bruised and beaten in tatters. I don't have anything to combat that. Thank you. I feel a little better now. I've tried to understand it. But try is the best I could ever do. My behavior just now was not befitting of a commander. I'm sorry you had to see that. But I'm okay now. I don't even know what action to take, to be honest. I don't. I really do not know which option to pick. Oh, God. Oh, thank you. I'll take mine back. Although caffeine has health detriments, it is an excellent stimulant in times of uncertainty. Every now and again, it's nice to indulge. It helps function as a buffer for dealing with this system we humans are trapped in. Besides which, it does taste very good. You know, I do believe you helped snap me out of a slump I didn't even know I was in. I will leave Officer Cthugha in your hands. You may share the responsibility with Captain Brake as well. You are hereby dismissed. You may now leave the bridge. We'll get through this alive. Still looks like you're in a slump to me, Commander. If it's not one thing, it's another. Don't you know listening in on people is rude? I was planning to just come right in, but then I thought I might be interrupting you, so I stayed back. General Bertro was right next to me too, and that's what he did, so I felt like I should follow suit. Chain of command, you know? I'm hereby banning any eavesdropping on the conversations of superiors. You'll be court-martialed if it happens again. Got it? Now, that aside, tell me, how are the modifications to the 3 fighter ships going? If eavesdropping is now banned, it's best to enforce it, right? Plus, I've got some questions for after my report. Maybe I shouldn't ask them, but I'm everybody's big bro here, so I think it's important I get the full story. Come all the way to the deepest reaches of space, and somehow you wind up with more big brothers than when I left. Come again? I couldn't quite make out what you were saying there, Commander. Oh, it's nothing. I just have a rather nasty habit of giving my brothers a hard time. So consider yourself duly warned. That's funny. I seem to remember you saying you had a soft spot for big brothers. I do. There just aren't many out there who can put up with me. Regardless, we have more important matters to discuss. Specifically, I want to talk about Cthugha. I think he's baiting us, or rather, I suspect he himself is being used as bait. The information he's provided us with is just a bit too convenient, don't you think? It's like his capture was just allowed to happen. It was almost too easy, and he had all the intel we needed to alter our plans and incite us into action. I can't help but feel like we're being led into a trap. Well, that's certainly a possibility, but I don't know that I see it myself. What's your take on the seemingly reformed foe then? Do you regard him fondly as Brandon seems to? Yeah, I'd say so. I like the guy. He learns real quick and is always eager to learn more. And he pilots like a pro. Only problem is his personality, or should I say his rule. It's kind of all over the place. That much is apparent, yes. He's out of control. It's no wonder the enemy commander was willing to get rid of him. Perhaps that was even the idea. Playing him among our forces, then remotely trigger him to erupt when the moment is right. Can't help but notice that you still allowed him to join our ranks though, even knowing the risk. He had intel we needed, and I couldn't let that opportunity slip through our fingers. It's the only thing keeping us afloat. Plus, with troops in short supply and every resource available to us, any and every resource available to us must be exploited to the fullest. Ultimately, even if we are just playing into the enemy's hands, we have no choice but to use Cthugha. We're dealing with an extremely formidable foe, pressing both intelligence and cunning in equal measure. That's also the problem here. No enemy as well organized as the buggers would allow things to end with a simple face-off. We have to figure out what they're planning, and if we can't in the next 3 days, then it doesn't bear thinking about. That nightmarish rule of theirs, too, complicates matters. How can we deal with a foe that can call upon infinite past? They have nearly bottomless reserves at their disposal. We can barely comprehend the full extent of their power. Once I start thinking about it, the problems just keep piling up. What's the answer? This isn't a problem for you to solve on your own, Commander. You're not alone in this. You may be the smart one here, but that doesn't mean we've got nothing to bring to the table. You can count on us, you know. You're absolutely right. Hey, may I ask you a question? Huh? Well, yeah, I mean, you're the boss, literally. Why did you decide to become our spacecraft engineer? And don't say it's the role you were born for. We both know that's not true. I just can't imagine why you would choose to stand on the front lines of this desperate effort to save humanity from extinction. Were you banished from Earth as penance for a crime, perhaps? Oh! Is that how you think of me? Man, no. On the one hand, I really just wanted to follow in my parents' footsteps. And on the other hand, I'm searching for the unknown, I guess you could say. Outer space is such a mystery. There's so much out here waiting to be discovered. I couldn't resist that call, you know. I do see the appeal. Rather a shame that the unknown you found turned out to be deadly aggressors, however. Yeah, that's definitely not ideal, but I mean, I was able to meet people like Cthugha too, so it ain't all bad. Come now, Kuragane, you need to be more careful than that. Have we not already discussed the danger he poses? Yeah, he's dangerous, but what isn't? Out here in space, granted, his enlistment makes things a little more complicated. But we're trying to save ourselves from extinction, so hey, beggars and choosers, you know? But that's why I like that intersection so much. When something's unknown, it just makes me want to know it all the more. He wasn't saying that though. I guess he was, and they just chose not to put his name. Well, reread it. The present is just crossroads where past and futures intersect. But past and future are both heavily traveled roads, with so much baggage hurtling down them at unsafe speeds. There are bound to be collisions where they meet. This convergence naturally brings with it considerable fear. But ultimately, fear is just another word for the unknown. And that's why I like that intersection so much. When something's unknown, it just makes me want to know it all the more. I remember the first time I saw the night sky as a child. I looked up at those twinkling lights and thought to myself, those can't all just be stars. There are stories in those dots. I was in awe of the night's glow too. How it represented the border where the planet I was born on met the rest of space. I wonder how it must look from the other side. Our little blue planet shining in the blackness of night. I was absolutely captivated by that night's glow. I knew I would one day go somewhere beyond it. Thinking. It's not anxiety or anticipation. It must be something I talked about. Master, what are you doing here? As a pilot, you are obligated to get at least 6 hours of rest each day. This place is not suitable for that purpose, particularly compared to the Wall of Time's crew quarters. You are advised to return to your room and go back to sleep. I'd rather be here right now. I need someone to hear me out. Understood. Please allow me a moment to adjust your pilot seat for enhanced comfort. Can I have it? Can I have an adjustable pilot seat? Be better than this chair I'm sitting in. Your brainwave scans show hints of anxiety. Are you worried about the fight ahead? Or is this a matter of human relations? Alternatively, it is conceivable you may be regretting your enlistment, given what has been asked of you. Well, I can't talk about my conversation with Duo. What do you think I was in the past? Your service portfolio does indicate persistent amnesia, but that is the only information available to me. It is recommended you not dwell on such matters, as they may plague your mind and cause adverse effects on your performance. Do not forget that you and I are both mere tools to be used in fighting this war. Our actions must serve this end. It's clear that your present anxiety is a result of the current situation and the role you are to play in it. Neither I nor any other member of this warship is capable of rectifying the problem at its root. However, I can suggest a positive and productive countermeasure to cope with it. You must compromise, Master. Huh? Compromise? With what? With reality? Is something the matter, Master? My suggestion seems to have perturbed you. Little Solomon, what do you really think? Am I doing well? Am I doing okay even? Give me a nice, cold AI evaluation. Despite your uncertain circumstances, it is apparent that you've been giving your utmost best effort to our cause. As your designated spacecraft AI system, I will also continue to do my best to assist you in the completion of your task. Considering all factors, it is my assessment that you are entirely adequate for the position you have been assigned. And that hurts! Oh my god, this is an hour and a half long. I just realized. I'd be nothing without you, you know. I love you, little Salmon. I will continue to provide advice on the best course of action to ensure your survival and success moving forward. I ask that you preserve and protect yourself with the utmost care for as long as your services are still needed in the war effort. You can rest assured that I will be by your side until this operation is concluded. That is my role to fulfill. Your role, huh? Hey, can I ask you something? Where did you come from exactly? I cannot provide an answer. I have not been permitted access to that information. Oh, so you're just like me in a way. You know if you have parents? If so, I'd love to meet them someday. Like you, parents. Meet them someday. Yeah, I mean, we're really very similar, right? We should search for our past together. Alert! You have now misappropriated approximately 1 hour of your allotted rest time. This counseling session will now be concluded. Please return to your quarters and get your rest. I'm going to sleep here with you. I want you to go on standby. I prefer this to be my room. Understood. Adjusting cabin temperature and humidity to a level conducive to sleep. Good night, Master. Sweet dreams. That hurts. I'm issuing a level 1 emergency alert to all hands until further notice. Repeat, we are in red alert status. We have established visual contact with our goal. Our final destination has come into view. Next time on Nightglows. Final episode. Thank you all. That's a heavy burden. In so many ways, that is a heavy burden. You want to asking me to die.